This is your Smackdown post show for July the 12th, 2024. I am Matt the Misfit. This is the Misfit Wrestling Podcast. We are back with the Smackdown reviews. I gotta make this one quick because in just a couple hours, Marigold will have their Summer Destiny 2024 event where I'm going to give my full predictions of that show at the end of this podcast and all the stuff there, because there's some juicy information that came out on the Tokyo sports side of things, because Julia had mentioned something on that interview that she did. We'll talk about that in just a little bit, but I want to talk about something interesting that happened earlier this week. We're going to get to about that with Stephanie Vaquer. We are also going to talk about all the stuff that happened on SmackDown. I'm going to go through it very, very quickly here. I don't have much time, like an hour before the show, so we're going to get into it now. Please hit that like button, subscribe, comment down below, youtube.com/@MisfitWrestlingPodcast. You can follow the social medias, Pile Driver Pulse on Twitter. Hopefully people can see my tweets. Twitter's being weird. You can follow the audio outlets, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Audible, and Pandora. All the good stuff. Also, the Instagram, Misfit Wrestling Pod. No one really goes there, but it's on there. And much, much more. Stephanie Vaquer was a big topic of conversation this week, as it was confirmed by multiple people that Stephanie Vaquer, the former before we get into that, Stephanie Vaquer, it was announced by CMLL that it was on July the 10th on a Wednesday, nonetheless. It was announced that Vaquer was departing with CMLL, with both the CMLL women's titles that she's held, the women's world title and the women's tag team titles were being vacated in the process. She withdrew from her remaining dates with both New Japan and CMLL. It was then announced, not even 4 hours later, Sean Ross Sapp, Fightful.com, put up the report that she had been in talks with WWE. Then PW Insider put out the report from, I believe it was from, it may have been Lucha Blog or Record Blog. I don't remember who at Record Lucha. Somebody had put out the report that she had signed a multi-year deal with WWE. PW Insider then reported the same thing. Shawn Michaels wasted no time on his social media, putting out the following tweet saying, and I quote, pointing out the tweet saying, and I quote, "Welcome to the WWE family at Stephanie Vaquer. See you in Orlando." So it has been official. Stephanie Vaquer, just weeks after her Forbidden Door appearance against Mercedes Moné, where she dropped the New Japan Strong Women's Championship, bolted, ducked, left AEW high and dry. Now, I saw people think, oh, WWE stole Vaquer from AEW. You can't steal something from somebody that doesn't, when they don't have them. She wasn't on a contract with AEW, so there was no stealing involved. Just like Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee was not under contract to AEW. They didn't steal him. So that's a big deal. Then it was announced today via the Espanol, Spanish, Latin, whatever you want to call it, Twitter page, saying, "Breaking news: appearing live in Mexico City during the tour over in Mexico, that WWE's newest signee, Stephanie Vaquer, will appear live to, I guess, officially announce their signing." So that is a big deal. Big deal that she is coming over to the United States. Not the United States. Coming to the United States full time for WWE. Let's talk about Julia real quick. Let's put this in perspective here. Julia, with Tokyo Sports, mentioned that ahead of her match against Saray, she told Tokyo Sports that she can only stay with Marigold for a short time from this show and hopes fans will see her while they can in Japan. She battled Saray in the main event for the Marigold World Championship because that was made official on the post-show, not the post-show, the presser earlier today. We'll go through my predictions on that in just a little bit. So there's that. So that's basically, and the Motor City Machine Guns, they announced that they're kind of, seemed like they're WWE bound. They finished their show with Prestige, and they got the send-off afterwards. So we'll see what happens there with the Motor City Machine Guns. Let's go on to SmackDown now. SmackDown was in Worcester, Massachusetts. I probably mispronounced that. Whatever. Tiffany Stratton, the new Miss Money in the Bank, started off SmackDown. She says it's officially Tiffany time on Friday nights when I officially became Tiffany time on Saturday when she became the youngest women's Money in the Bank briefcase holder in history. She says Trish Stratus hosted Money in the Bank in her hometown of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. It's her time tonight. Then puts Liv Morgan, Bayley, and Roxanne Perez on notes. They've made mention both during the kickoff event last weekend and tonight that the winner of the Money in the Bank briefcase can cash in on NXT. They did this not last year, but the year before. They did this with Austin Theory, where they were teasing him cashing in on whoever I forget. I think it was Braun Breaker, who was the NXT champion at the time. Bayley comes out, basically says, you probably didn't know what WWE was in 2019. Basically saying, that was ages ago. She warns Stratton against cashing in on her. Says, should she choose so, she'll be the first woman to have failed the Money in the Bank cash in. It'll be a while before they do that. Nia Jax comes out, does all her shtick here. She calls her BBL Bayley, which is Big Butt Latino Bayley. Sure, why not? And basically says at SummerSlam, I'm gonna take your title. They start attacking Bayley. Tiffany Stratton teases cashing in Money in the Bank. He does not, and they've go up with separate ways. I think Nia Jax wins the title in Cleveland, and I think does not hold it long because I do think they're going to turn Tiffany Stratton into a babyface, and then Tiffany Stratton's going to win the title from Nia Jax. That's my prediction, at least there. So, but while this is going on, because I may have skipped ahead here, we ended up getting the another Bayley, Nia Jax Michin match here. It was fine, but the Annihilator on Michin gets the win here. And again, I mentioned the stuff, the tease to cash in and whatnot here. Baron Corbin, who is around, makes his way to the ring. We're getting ready for Legado del Fantasma versus Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews. Before that, we had Byron Saxton sitting down with Andrade, who claims he was the MVP of last weekend's Money in the Bank men's ladder match. Carmelo Hayes says he interrupts and says him they have a confrontation. They have a match set up for next weekend. Him and Andrade and Carmelo Hayes, which should be a banger next week on SmackDown. And this match was kind of up there. Legado Fantasma gets the win here. Angel Garza did just resign. I think it was Angel Garza did resign with WWE. Got a big new paycheck there. So there's that and stuff like that. Nick Aldis' office here, where Chelsea Green and Piper Niven encountered Piddly Deadly. Chelsea Green tells Alan Prince and Kelly Wilson to get in line. LA Knight emerges from Aldis' office with a contract, seems like in his hand. LA Knight gets to the ring and basically challenges Logan Paul to a United States Championship match. So that match, we kind of figured what's going to happen. If it wasn't going to happen at WrestleMania, that was the destination here. I think it's time that they're going to put the title on LNA, hopefully. So that, and also that means the United States champion can actually end up going to Japan. Unlike, certain Logan Paul, we're not going to go into that there, all that stuff there. Blair Davenport, Naomi. I don't know. I don't even remember why this match was set up last week, but this was not very good at all, and I'm getting sick of tired of seeing Blair Davenport get fucked over again. This is the second time she's gotten fucked over. She lost in her debut. She should have been in Money in the Bank instead of, somebody like a fucking Chelsea Green. Unfortunately, I like Chelsea Green, but just because they're in Canada doesn't mean you put them in the fucking stuff like that. Anyways, but yeah, I didn't care for this. We got the win here. I don't. Thankfully, did not win with that fucking rear view shit there. A-Town on Under, they have their rematch because they lost the WWE Tag Team Titles last week to DIY. We're now the WWE Tag Team Champions. Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill is just around. They start celebrating with Naomi. Naomi runs to Davenport. Davenport tells her the better person won. Does the shaking. I thought we were getting maybe a babyface turn here. They shake hands. Davenport walks off. I don't remember who walked in. Who I believe it was Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, whatever, and they get blindsided by Davenport walks and stuff here. This is a really good match here. Ciampa and Gargano are great here. But obviously the winners, there was a miscommunication between A-Town Down Under, teasing that eventual babyface turn for not Grayson Waller, the other guy, Austin Theory. But meeting in the middle by DIY. DIY retained the WWE Tag Team Titles. Following the match here, let's see. I'm telling you, this is it's going to be a short review here. But they did. Following the match here, we had this I guess teaser of the eventual babyface turn here of Gargano and Ciampa, not Gargano and Ciampa, Waller and Theory. Before anything could happen here, Jacob Fatu comes waltzing his ass out here, knocking the shit out of everybody, taking out Waller and Grayson. Grayson and Theory, then taking out DIY. DIY gets the shit kicked out of them. People were saying, "Oh, they're gonna water down Jacob Fatu." Jacob Fatu's out here doing somersaults and fucking moonsaults and topes and splashes off the top rope to announce tables and shit like that. Like you aren't seeing a lot of the Usos do that. You aren't seeing Solo Sikoa doing that. You aren't seeing Tama Tonga doing that. You sure as hell ain't seeing Tonga Loa, who just is one of the worst members of the fucking group, which, it's probably going to be DIY versus Gorillas of Destiny at SummerSlam. And unfortunately, it looks like GOD is going to get the titles from I mean, as a tag team, it could be a great match because Gargano and Ciampa are great. Tama Tonga is good. Some of his matches have bored me. That last match he had in New Japan was a bore, though. I'm going to be 100% honest there. But yeah, Jacob Fatu basically laid waste to the entire tag team division, basically. Then it comes out the rest of the bloodline here. Solo Sikoa, soon to be McDonald's employee, after Roman Reigns comes back, because there's some news on that here. I'll talk about that in a little bit. Solo Sikoa demands that people acknowledge him, then says everyone who refuses to acknowledge him, including Jimmy Uso and Paul Heyman. There's some news on Jimmy Uso too. He makes a promise that Roman Reigns will acknowledge him soon should he return. Then says Cody Rhodes. Then said it's Cody Rhodes' turn to acknowledge him. Calls Rhodes down to the ring. Cody comes out. Cody says he's heard everything Solo had just said. It tells them that they want the same thing, a match at SummerSlam for the WWE Championship. Tells Solo Sikoa that he needs to talk to Adam Pearce, but he's in. Tells Solo Sikoa that if it were up to him, he wouldn't wait till SummerSlam. He said he would do it here or now. The Bloodline surrounds Cody. Cody attacks Solo. Fatu lands a super kick onto Cody. Then a clothesline. Randy Orton comes out because Randy Orton earlier on the night says, I have your back, which is bullshit because as soon as SummerSlam is over, Randy Orton's going to turn on him like as quickly as Stephanie Vaquer said, "See you later, Tony Khan." So Orton comes down here, takes down Tamatanga and Tangaloa, sends Fatu out of the ring to join them, then delivers a hanging DDT to Solo to helping Rhodes. Jacob Fatu levels Randy Orton. The GOD then join in. Orton fires off some right hands on GOD. Fatu lands a tope suicida, which I was mentioning those earlier, to take him down. Solo Sikoa and Fatu start beating down Cody in the ring. They basically crucify this man on the ring ropes. They're kind of similar to how they basically like the Sandman crucifixion, except without the fucking cross part. And then they just beat the shit out of Randy Orton, put him through a table, and that's how and they do the thing here, crowd saying "you suck," whatever, and that's how the show goes off the air. So SmackDown was an show. The closing segment was great. I enjoyed the tag team title match. Other than that, but there's a new guy in charge doing SmackDown. When it comes to that and all that stuff here. I did forget to mention, though, there's a new member of the broadcast team. His name is Joe Tessitore. He did sign with WWE. I'm going to talk about him in just a second here, but I do want to bring up the SummerSlam card, the new SummerSlam card. So the official matches now for SummerSlam are as followed. It's going to be, obviously, we know Damian Priest versus versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. Nia Jax versus challenging Bayley for the WWE Women's title. We also know that Cody Rhodes will defend the WWE title against Solo Sikoa in the main event. That is where Roman Reigns is going to come back, because it's at this point Roman Reigns is getting ready to come back here. Jimmy Uso, I believe, has been cleared, will be coming back soon, so that will tie into there as well. LA Knight will challenge Logan Paul for the WWE United States Championship. And let me see if I can find. The other matches. So those matches are official. Those matches are official. Matches that are going to be made official very soon. Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley. I feel like it's going to be made official on Monday Night Raw, because we did find out that Rhea Ripley will open Raw next week. CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. That's going to be made official probably next week. DIY defending the tag team titles, most likely against the Gorillas of Destiny. Uncle Howdy versus Chad Gable will probably be on that show. And Tiffany, I can see them doing Tiffany Stratton versus Trish Stratus, because of the reason they keep mentioning Trish Stratus here. So now let's go on to Marigold. Actually, before we go into the Marigold stuff, I want to actually talk about Joe Chester here. So Joe Chester, this was announced on Tuesday that he will be joining the announce team here. WWE announced today. WWE on Tuesday announced Joe Chester, one of the most versatile and veteran voices in sports television, will be joining the commentary, the company as a play-by-play broadcaster beginning this summer. His role, he will work alongside analysts Wade Barrett and Corey Graves, for the time being, will continue his play-by-play role on SmackDown. He obviously was only, I think at this point we kind of figured that he was just doing the play-by-play role, even though he was doing very good at it, until they found the replacement for Kevin Patrick. Michael Cole and Pat McAfee will remain teamed up. It doesn't say where, but the original report from, I think it was the New York Post, said that Cole and Pat will remain on Raw. Barrett, Corey, and Joe will do SmackDown. So I'm not going to read everything that's been read here, but WWE goes on to say that with nearly 3 decades of broadcasting experience, which is good, which is very good, Chester, again, I apologize if I butchered his last name, is widely considered one of the industry's foremost play callers. Chester will remain on his roles at ESPN and ABC, where since 2002 has been a key fixture on the networks coverage of college football. He's called ESPN and ABC Saturday night primetime games, the college football playoffs, and more. Chester is well known for his ESPN blow-by-blow commentator roles, having called memorable world championship fights of Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Terrence Crawford, and among others. Additionally, he has led ESPN's Monday Night Football and has called the NFL Pro and Wild Card playoff games on ABC. He has found success in entertainment as well, teaming up with Rob Regal and Stephen Curry. I don't know why I tried to fuck that name up on the comedy competition show Holy Moly. So he's been a lifelong fan. He respects the business. He knows the business. If you guys don't know who he is, he also was doing the I think it was kind of like a post show thing he was doing on the ESPN YouTube channel for WrestleMania, where I believe he had Charlotte on there. He's had CM Punk, Big E, Randy Orton. I think he's had Bayley on there. Shayna Baszler was on there. They did some stuff to cover the UFC stuff because he was doing some of that too. But I've heard his voice doing play-by-play calls. He sounds fantastic. I hope it works out because we know that there are people like Kevin Patrick, Jimmy Smith, although he was an improvement, he just wasn't great, but he was an improvement. Kevin Patrick was a fucking waste of time. Did not even last a month. He was cut within a month. Vic Joseph is okay on NXT. Keep him on NXT. I would love to see Mauro Ranallo come back. He's still one of my favorites. But let's see what Joe Chester does here. Excuse me. In WWE as a play-by-play commentator. Finally, we're going to go over the Marigold Summer Destiny 2024 pay-per-view event that's going to be happening in just 30 minutes from now. For me recording this, we're going to go over the card here. 9 matches on the card here. Of course, I think I did my early predictions for that show. Let's see if I can find it here. Give me a second. Because I had the card up, and then YouTube. Not YouTube. What the hell is the damn thing called? Oh my god, what's the name of this damn thing called? Wikipedia decides, because that's where I have the match card listed. Decided to change one thing. So yeah, so we found out who X is. We'll get to that in just a second here, but we have a debut match for Ryo Seto. She'll be taking on Kogomo Minami. I'm going to go with Rita Seto here because it's going to be one of her first matches here. I'm looking forward to see what these two ladies bring. I don't know anything about these two ladies, but I am very much looking forward to see what these two ladies can bring. If I will be, because if they get me hooked, then I'm good. Because that's what Yuzuki did. I had her I didn't know anything about her. It was her first match was with Momo Watanabe. She knocked it out of the park. They trusted Momo to give her a great match, and she did. So now Yuzuki's one of my favorites here. So I'm gonna go. Like I said, I'm gonna go with Saito here to get the win here in her first ever match here. We got a tag team match here. We got Koki Amare. Sorry if I butchered that name here. And Chika Goto. They'll be taking on the team of Yuzuki and X, which ended up being former Pro Wrestling Wave wrestler who announced that she was leaving the day this match was announced. Kuzuna Tanaka. She is the daughter. Believe it or not, she is actually the daughter. She's a second generation talent. She is the daughter of Minoru Tanaka and Yumi Fukuoka. Yumi, a former professional wrestler, now she is a Japanese actress, but she retired in 2001. Her father, Minoru Tanaka, still wrestles today. He wrestles for Pro Wrestling Noah. So he currently wrestles for Pro Wrestling Noah. I don't know. He may be wrestling on the show, on the wrestling and the Noah show, Destination tonight. I don't know, but she is wrestling. She's teaming with Yuzuki to take on those two. I'm gonna go with Team Yuzuki here. I kind of wanted to give Miss Tanaka a hug after her emotional speech that she was given. But I like Yuzuki, and I can never bet on Lady Yuzuki. I'm not calling her Victoria Yuzuki. I'm sorry, Yuzuki. One of my faves, but I'm not gonna call you Victoria. So there is that. Tag team match, another one. We have Nozaki and Chaika. They will be taking on the team of Zeta Steel and Mila Grace. I'm gonna go with Zeta Steel and Mila Grace because just the stuff I've seen of their interactions together as a team. I've fucking laughed at it. It's some good stuff. So I'm gonna go with that team there to get the win here. We got a tournament match, the tournament finals of the Marigold Superfly Championship, which is going to be basically their high-speed championship, kind of like obviously the high-speed title. High-flying wrestlers, 55, the small ones, like your Starlight Kids and your Azumis. Using them as examples is what I'm saying here. So we have Shozuki. We'll be taking on the Misa Mitsuo. So I'm gonna go with Natsumi Shozuki here. I know a little bit more about her than I do Matsui. But again, like I said, I know also, and I'm looking at the funny thing is, I don't know. I just know more of Shozuki, and also Shozuki used to wrestle for Stardom too. In Stardom, she is a former Goddess of Stardom tag team champion with, funny enough, Kairi Sane. They held that title. I'm actually very curious to see how long they've held that title for. They held that title for 34 years. It wasn't very long, but they did have the title. Didn't have any. They had one title. Actually, no. So Shozuki actually had to vacate the title because of a cervical spine injury. Did she have to retire early? Didn't she retire early? I could have sworn she did. Probably not, but she's also a former Access Girls singles champion. Held that title for. So she held that title for 22 days. No. I'm looking at a different name. Sorry. Oh no, she did 22 days. She was under a different name here. So I'm gonna go with her. Like I said, I know a little bit more about Shosaki than I do Matsui here. We have a 6-woman trios match here. We have Nanane Takahashi, Mai Sakurai, and Ishikawa. Naoya Ishikawa will be taking on Shinobi Kandori, Takako Inoue, and Nori. So I know a little bit of Takako. I believe he's retiring. He may be retiring this year. I could be wrong here, but she's been wrestling since 1989. All right, 1988. That's 30-something years ago. Yeah, 36 years ago. Damn. It would be 36 years ago coming up in October. Damn. But I'm gonna go with this is basically team start. Basically, I'm gonna go with. As much as I don't care for Takahashi, I'm gonna go for her team. I love me some Mai Sakurai. Ishikawa is great too. She's pretty cool. She's great too. Ishikawa, for those who don't know, showed up in Stardom in 2022 for New Blood 8, cosplaying as Tam Nakano. They advertised that match in particular as Tam Nakano versus Tam Nakano. It was great because she did the whole thing. She had the World Stardom title, a cardboard cutout of that. It was great. I'm going to go with that team to get the win here. We have a mini tournament here. Bozilla didn't even have a qualifying match. She's just in it. It's to crown the Marigold United National Championship. Mirai taking on Miku Iono. I'm going. Look, I know Rossi Ogawa loves Mirai. We've seen it. How he booked her in Stardom, constantly winning the goddess title. The fucking Cinderella tournament. It may be dislike, not hate, dislike Mirai just a little bit. So I'm gonna go outside of the box here. Because that's that promo that Miku cut on the presser last night. I tweeted out just give her the title. So I'm gonna go with Miku Iono to win this match here. I'm also gonna make a bold prediction. I think she's gonna win the United International Championship. She's great. She is great. She's not only is she beautiful, she's just amazing at what she does. She's only 33. She's a former Actress Girls wrestler. I don't know. She was the singles champion, and I was just looking at that. She is actually the longest. No, she's not. She's the third. No, she's the second longest champion in that title's history, holding it for 292 days. Had 6 title defenses. Out of all the champions, she's had the most title defenses, which is interesting to me. She ended up losing to Mari, but I'm going to go with Iono to win the Marigold National Championship. Bozilla will have her time in the sun. I just don't think it's now. I know that you would want to put the title on her, but I know it is a national championship. There's a good chance that you just go with Bozilla, but I'm going to go with Iono here for this one. Double main event here. The dream match, the Queen of Queens match that they advertise it as. Utami Hayashishita will be taking on her hero, her dream opponent, the founder of the group that Utami led before she left, Queen's Quest, the founder of Queen's Quest, Io Sky, coming over from WWE starting this partnership with Marigold, even though it started off with Julia signing with WWE. We'll talk about Julia in a little bit. This match is going to be fantastic. I am super excited for this match. This is going to be a match of the year candidate here. We are going to finally, and I looked at this as Io's last match in Stardom. Let's look that up because before she came to WWE, her last match Actually, let's actually that's a good idea. Let's go to cage match. Let's look up Io Shirai's last match in Stardom. Right. Let's see if we can find it here. So, Io's last match in Stardom was June 7th. This is we've already passed it here, but June 17th, 2008 was her last match in Stardom. It was a tag team match. It was a show called Goddesses of Destiny show at Kurgan Hall. How ironic is that? First of all, how ironic is this? Because her last Stardom show, her last show in Japan was in Kurgan Hall. That is eerie. That is so. Wow. So it was Thunder Rock, her and Mayu Iwatani. They defeated the team of Hazuki and Kagetsu of Oedo Tai, which I'm assuming was a great fucking match too. Probably was. Yes, it was. I'm not fucking surprised there. And also on that show, Momo Watanabe defeated Jungle Kiona. I have to go back and watch that show. Of course, the two semi-main events were good. Anyways, so her last match again in Japan was June 17th, 2018. And then she went on to sign with WWE NXT. Now and I put out this tweet earlier today, right? I put out the tweet, and if I can find it here, let me find my Io tweet. So that's not it. So I tweeted out, it's insane. Io Shirai in 2022 was reportedly going back to Stardom. Stuff happened, obviously. You know the stuff happened. Vince and all that stuff happened. She took a gamble on herself, decided to stay, got called up to the main roster when Triple H took the pencil, and now is one of their top stars. Because think about this. SummerSlam 2022, she had the debut with Bayley and Dakota Kai on the main roster. A year later, she won Money in the Bank, cashed in at SummerSlam, become the women's champion, had the banger of a match with Bayley at WrestleMania, and then is having this dream match with Utami tonight on Marigold. So Io Sky is doing great stuff. We may even have Kairi on the show here. I've heard that Kairi has made the trip on this show as well. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here. I have a prediction that I kind of want to throw out there, but I will save that for the end of the show, or for the end of the almost at the review of the not what's what I'm looking for, the predictions here. I was going to talk about Stardom in a second, but I'm not going to talk about Stardom yet because that is going to be saved for Sunday's show for Pile Driver Pulse, because I want to talk about some of the stuff that's going on in Stardom. Anyways, so I was going back and forth on this when this match was announced, and then I thought about it. I'm like, well, I love Utami. She's one of my absolute favorite wrestlers on the planet. All right. I cannot see Triple H signing off on sending Io Shirai over to do Marigold, and Rossi bringing her in to have her lose. So I'm gonna go with Io Sky to get the win here, and then they're gonna shake hands, they're gonna hug and all that stuff, and they're gonna respect each other here, because let's be real. As much as whatever's going on with Saya Kamatani, and we'll talk about Saya Kamatani on Sunday, because there are some things I have got to get off my chest when it comes to that. I know technically a lot of people think like Azumi sort of was a leader, but you have the first and technically the final leader at this point of Queen's Quest. This should be excellent stuff here. So I'm gonna go with Io to get the win here, and I don't think this is gonna be the last time we're gonna see Io Sky in Marigold. We may see her again somewhere down the line. Who knows? They might do a show here in America, and Io might work on that show. Who knows? Main event. ended up being, as we found out, Julia was medically cleared on Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday. Julia got cleared to wrestle on this show. It ended up being announced that this match was going to be for the inaugural world title for Marigold. It's going to be Julia taking on Shere. A lot of people thought that Julia was going to. This was going to be a foregone conclusion that Julia was winning. Well, as I mentioned at the top of the show, I mentioned the fact that Julia had said that she can only stay in Marigold for a short time from the show on, from after the show. So I had already, until I always thought that we were gonna have Julia on this show as the NXT Women's Champion, but unfortunately she got hurt, so that match did not take place out Heatwave. So I don't. You know what? I'm just gonna say it. Shere is gonna win the world championship here. Julia does not need the championship. Needs the Marigold championship. Her goal here in Marigold is not to win any titles. Okay. Her goal. This has been reported multiple times from multiple outlets that her goal with Marigold is to help Rossy Ogawa set it up, and get it off the ground for a few months and do stuff. And I know some people were like, "Oh, she's missed some dates. She's gonna make up some dates." I'm like, technically, she hasn't even missed any dates. Sure, in the ring she's missed dates, but she's been at every show since she got hurt. She's been there. She's doing the commentary. She's been doing announcements. She's been doing the meet and greets before and after the show. She's been seeing, talking to the kids and all that stuff. Which again, I keep saying she's going to be a great ambassador for WWE when it officially happens, when they officially announce her signing. And I have a prediction on when that's going to happen. Julia doesn't need the title, okay? Julia will be when NXT moves to CW in September or in October, whenever it was, September and October. I think it's in October. Julia is going to be that one of the front class part of that class there, and will not be part of Marigold as an active Marigold wrestler. Come then. I mean, she'll probably go over and do some stuff, but that's about it. So, where do I think Julia when they will announce her official signing? I think they're going to do that at the during the Japan shows, not next week, but the weekend following, because they are going to be in Japan over the 27th and the 28th. It would make sense. Obviously, we know that Asuka's not going to be around, because she is out with a injury. But Kairi and Io are going to be there. And Nakamura, I believe, on that show too. So I think that's when they're going to announce the signing officially of Julia. And I mentioned Kairi earlier. I would not be, again, I've been told some things, right? When I said a few weeks ago, whenever I started doing the podcast again, when they announced I think it was last month Sunday when I did the pile driver pulse, I talked about the announcement of Utami and Io, and I said I was attributed as I was told about this match basically around the same time that Io found out about this match, which was around WrestleMania. And I said, okay. Anything else from that happening? And I was told about Kairi possibly coming in. So I said when that match was announced, I said, do not be surprised if Kairi is on the show in some way, shape, or form. I think the winner, whoever wins this match, whether it's Julia or Stray, I think after this match is when Kairi is going to come out and challenge the winner of this match. I don't care which match we're going to get. We're going to get either one of these matches in either in Marigold or WWE, because Sherry, I think, has said something about possibly being open to coming back to WWE and doing another and getting a second chance to actually being able to show what she can do, because she didn't get to do that, unfortunately, because the people who were in charge did not give a shit about her. The person who wanted to book her was sick, and by the time he came back, she was out the door. And they fired William Regal, so around that time. So Regal's back. Triple H is in charge. I think it's going to work out a lot more better than the second time around than it did the first time around. Right. Anyways, I think that's what's going to happen here. I think that's why I think it's going to happen. Julia or Sarai, winner of the match, person's going to come out. That would be Kairi. They're going to set up something here. Or Io could come out at the end of the show and challenge either one of these two. I would not at all be against the Marigold World title being defended on the WWE Japan show over there. I would not at all be surprised if Julia wins, she defends the title. If Sarai wins, she defends the title on the WWE Japan tour. So, but yeah, those are my predictions for Marigold Summer Destiny. I think I'm going to give my quick prediction on the AJ Styles Fujiwara match. I'm just going to go with AJ Styles. Same reason why I think the same thing with the Io Sky. I can't see them sending AJ Styles over to lose. At least, I mean, if they bring AJ Styles back in the future, he could probably take a loss there. Same thing with Io Sky. But their first match, no. Especially their first match is back in Japan in many, many years. So, yeah. But until then, I've been Matt the Misfit. This has been the Misfit Wrestling Podcast. I will see you guys back here tomorrow for the Marigold review for Summer Destiny 2024. Will Kairi be on the show? Who knows? Will Julia win the championship? We'll see. Will this be Julia's last Marigold show? We'll find out. All of this and much, much more tomorrow on the Marigold Summer Destiny review. Till then, we're out.